All right, let's jump right into something you probably haven't thought much about. We're talking about the world of live theater colliding with artificial intelligence. Yeah, I know. It sounds like two totally different worlds, right? But it's a partnership that's actually happening, and it's raising some huge questions about art, tech, and, well, what it even means to be human.
I mean, just try to picture that for a second. This isn't science fiction. It's happening right now on a stage. You've got the sweat and the energy of real actors in a sword fight, and right there with them, a machine is watching, interpreting, and even copying their moves in real time. That single image, it just perfectly captures this new, kind of weird and really exciting dance between performers and their programs.
So you might be asking, who's behind all this? Well, a key figure here is Stanford's Michael Rall, and his whole thing is built on one core belief. For theater to be any good, it has to reflect the lives we're actually living. And let's be real, our lives today are filtered through technology. So the big question is, how do you put that on stage without it being, super boring?
Rao's mission, then, isn't just about sticking a laptop on a prop table. He's been trying to weave technology into his show since way back in 2014. But around 2019, his focus got laser sharp, zeroing in on machine learning and AI. He started asking, how can these incredibly powerful new tools become part of the actual DNA of a play?
Okay, so this brings us to the really cool part. How does this stuff actually work on stage? Let's take a look inside the AI Theater Lab to see 3 totally different ways Rao is taking this abstract idea and making it real.
So they're basically experimenting in 3 main ways. First up, you've got image generation. And AI is literally watching the actors and then creating these kind of dreamy, surreal visuals that get projected right back onto the stage. It's like seeing the play's subconscious, live. Second, and this is just wild, is something called LLM live scripts. The audience throws out a suggestion, an AI like ChatGPT writes a script on the spot, and those lines are fed directly into the actors' earpieces. They have to perform it completely cold. And third, it's not all just for show. There's pose analysis. This is an AI tool for researchers, creating these detailed 3D models of actors' movements so they can analyze performance in a totally new, data-driven way.
Okay, but you knew this was coming, right? Anytime you bring a technology this powerful into a creative field, it forces a huge question. Is this actually pushing art forward, or is it just a really fancy gimmick?
And look, this isn't just some abstract debate for us to have. The guy who's literally building these tools, Michael Rao himself, he admits he wrestles with this question constantly. There are no easy answers here. The artists who are on the front lines of this are grappling with it just as much as anyone else.
So let's break down the 2 sides of this. On the one hand, the benefits. Rao is pretty honest about it. The biggest benefit is that we just don't know. It's about exploration. The potential for stumbling onto something new and exciting is huge. On the other hand, the drawbacks are a lot more concrete. You've got massive copyright and IP issues just baked into these AI models. There's the fear that AI could just kind of flatten everything out, creating a really bland, samey style of art. And maybe the biggest worry is losing that human-centered part of creativity, handing over the most exciting, messy parts of making art to a machine.
So for Rao, the way he navigates this minefield is by holding on to one core principle. He calls it the human in the loop. The AI can be a tool, it can be a partner, it can be a new kind of paintbrush, but there always has to be a human artist at the center, making the choices, steering the ship.
And this whole human-in-the-loop idea leads to a pretty fascinating paradox, because far from making human skills obsolete, this huge leap in technology might actually be making them more valuable than they've ever been. And we're not just talking about acting here. We're talking about the deep, fundamental skills that theater has been teaching for centuries.
It is so important to remember this. People totally freaked out when gas lamps replaced candles on stage, and they freaked out again when electric spotlights came along. Every single time, there were people saying, "This is it. This will destroy the theater." But it didn't. The art form just adapted, it changed, it found new ways to tell stories with the new tools. Rao sees AI as just the next chapter in that very long story.
Because while technology is always changing, some things just don't. This quote from Tom Vanderwell, it just hits the nail on the head.
That deep, real understanding of other people, of why we do the things we do, you don't learn that from a spreadsheet or in an econ class. You learn it through the messy, empathetic, human work of the arts.
And these skills are incredibly practical. I mean, think about it. What happens when that AI-generated script goes completely off the rails? You need improvisation. Putting on any kind of show is basically a crash course in project management and dealing with all kinds of different people. And that attitude of just doing whatever needs to be done, that's the heart of theater, and it's the heart of almost any successful project anywhere. These are the skills of the human in the loop, and you just can't automate them.
So what does this all mean for the future of the stage? Well, it's not shaping up to be a battle, human versus machine. It's more like we're setting the stage for a new kind of performance, one where humanity and technology can finally start having a real conversation with each other.
And if there's one key thing to take away from all this, it's that this is not a zero-sum game. Like Michael Ross says, you can go see a Shakespeare play done exactly how it would have been done back in the day, and then you can walk down the street and see a show using the absolute latest technology on the West End. One doesn't have to kill the other. They can exist together.
And maybe the most brilliant example of this is a play Rotho is working on right now called Hamlet.ai. Get this, the plot is about a playwright and a director fighting over whether to use AI in their show. And the play itself will actually use the very same AI systems we were just talking about. It's so meta. It's theater literally holding a mirror up to its own hopes and fears about the future. It's just fantastic.
Which leaves us with this final, really powerful question to think about. This isn't just about new kinds of special effects. It's about opening up entirely new ways to tell stories. As the human and the machine really learn to share that space on stage together, what new, what profound, and what totally unexpected stories are we finally going to be able to tell about ourselves? Thanks for joining us.